according to Lou Dibella, he says, and I quote, Jojo is working against his own interests. He should fight a meaningful fight for good money instead of one for probably a lot less money against a guy nobody ever heard of. But we are not giving up Tevin's right to a rematch, whether it's for the title or not. With or without the title, there is an immediate rematch, but Golden Boy and Jojo have to get on the same page. Diaz is going to be fighting Tevin next. We made a specific deal that always contemplating running it back if Tevin lost with or without the title. Golden Boy knows that and isn't challenging that. They've been stand up. Eddie knows what the contract says, and so does Jojo. If Jojo wasn't going to give Tevin the rematch clause, he shouldn't have fought for the title. End quote. What's up, fam? Bam, Mainman Mademan here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. Salute to you all. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays out there. And salute to everybody in Mainman Mademan's boxing forum. Here we go again, fam. Here we go again. It's being reported this morning by Michael Coppinger of The Athletic that former IBF 130-pound champion Tevun Farmer, his rematch clause with Jojo Diaz, who defeated him earlier this year, well, that rematch clause has now expired, according to Michael Coppinger. And it's really messed up, man. And I'm almost wondering if Tevun Farmer got swindled here. Let's go back to how this all went down. Remember, Tevun Farmer lost his world title to Jojo Diaz earlier this year. After which, given that that was a voluntary defense, Tevun Farmer was unable to enact a rematch clause. The rematch clause immediately got enacted by Tevun Farmer, and so Eddie Hearn, the promoter of Tevun Farmer, looked to make the rematch sometime this spring. However, the coronavirus came into play, shut everything down, right? So this postponed things. Now, during this time, it seems as if that Jojo Diaz has inherited the IBF mandatory, Rachmaninoff or something like that is his name, and he's going to be fighting this guy. So the problem is that for Tevun Farmer, what the IBF did for his rematch clause was make it so that from July to January, they'll give him a negotiating period of about 6 months. That's unprecedented. 6 months to negotiate, which means that they would have had to have had a deal in place by January of 2021. Now, right after Jojo Diaz defeated Tevun Farmer, he also signed with managerial outfit MTK Global. And when he got down with MTK Global, well, things started to change a little bit. Now, the fight with Rachmaninoff and Jojo Diaz, the mandatory that he inherited, well, this fight has now just recently came to negotiations, and they're working out a deal to fight February 20th of 2021. Now, if they worked out a deal to fight February 20th of 2021, and Tevun Farmer had worked out a deal to have a deal done by January of 2021, what the heck happened to Tevun Farmer's shot? Now, what's really messed up about all of this is that it's said that Jojo Diaz, who signed now with MTK Global, well, he is promoted by Goldenboy Promotions in Oscar De La Hoya. It's said by Lou Dibella, the promoter of Tevun Farmer, that what happened was Jojo Diaz and MTK Global went behind Goldenboy Promotions' back, and they petitioned the IBF to have a purse bid with Rachmaninoff and to do their mandatory. They petitioned for this particular mandatory, with unbeknown to Goldenboy Promotions. So it's really messed up, man. We got MTK Global into this situation, and it looked like they're trying to squeeze Tevun Farmer out of the situation. And this is all according to Lou Dibella, the promoter of Tevun Farmer. So they said that the reason that they did this is they did not immediately want to face Tevun Farmer in the rematch, which makes no sense. You would think it's a bigger fight. But however, they're vouching for the Rachmaninoff guy, and now they're in a situation where they got that fight for February, but they still owe Tevun Farmer a fight, which originally was ruled to supposed to have a purse bid by January. So I don't know how this is all going to work out. I'm sure Dibella is going to stay on this. Tevin Farmer's people is going to stay on this. And something's going to have to give, because according to the contract that they have, the fight is supposed to happen with or without the title. So even if Jojo Diaz was to lose against Rachmaninoff, well, he can still rematch Tevin Farmer without a belt. That's how bad that they wanted this particular rematch. So it seems as if one way or another, I don't know if the rematch clause expired, if they'll determine that, of course, all of this, it's going to all fall apart. But if he has some standing to keep his rematch clause in place, well, Jojo Diaz is going to either have to face vacating his title or something's going to have to be done. But we'll see how this all works out, man. It's messed up. It's being reported once again by Michael Coppinger that the rematch clause has expired. We've already been down this road recently with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. What it took Deontay Wilder to do was enact a portion of his contract called the Dispute Resolution Clause, which triggered a mediation, which may lead to an arbitration, which now has us waiting on a verdict on to see if we were going to get Tyson Fury versus Wilder 3. Well, same thing I wonder can happen for Tevin Farmer. From what I understand, these contracts are pretty universal with this particular clause in it. So hopefully he has a dispute resolution portion of his contract that he can enact as well. See, these promoters, when they don't want to pay for certain fights, they're using the coronavirus and the pandemic as ways to get out of these fights. And I don't think it's right. Now, Jojo Diaz has been very loyal to Eddie Hearn. Tevin Farmer has been very loyal to Eddie Hearn and very loyal to DAZN. And I've always charged them with saying that they never done Tevin Farmer right. They didn't never give him the big names while he's been over there for like 4 or 5 fights. And they were giving him soft touches while letting him maintain his world title. Now, I've always said that Tevin Farmer, to them, they brought him over there to be a magnet. They brought him over there to attract other fighters. That was, I believe, the game, the plan as for the reason why they brought on Tevin Farmer. Not to mention Tevin Farmer was aligned with Dibella. And Dibella right now in Matchroom and DAZN, well, let's just say for some reason or another, they're not on the same pages. But the fact still remains is that Tevin Farmer, I've always said, he's been used to draw other fighters. They tried to use him to draw Gervonta Tank Davis over there. It was very unsuccessful. And once Tevin Farmer lost his title to Jojo Diaz, they didn't really have no more use for him. They couldn't put him in big fights. He's not a big name fighter like that. So it was hard for them to kind of, figure out what to do with Tevin Farmer. Tevin was very happy to be over there on DAZN, and, we see Tevin Farmer promoting himself now. He's out here, he has his YouTube channel and things like that. A lot of us were very concerned. I know I was very, very concerned for Tevin Farmer after that fight with Jojo Diaz, because health-wise, he just did not look right. He kept twitching after the fight, and it was real scary, you know what I'm saying? So I hope everything is okay with that. But they never did right by Tevin, you know what I mean? They never gave him the big one. Jojo Diaz was a voluntary defense. That was something that Tevin Farmer voluntarily did to get a better named fighter. But they could not never give him, the big name. And most importantly, like I said, they used him as a magnet. He was always a co-promoted fighter. And I always tell y'all how Eddie Hearn treats co-promoted fighters, such as like Devin Haney as well. He gives them the short end of the stick. But this is Tevin Farmer, man. I don't understand how the IBF can turn around and say, hey, man, we'll give you 6 months to negotiate, which is already 6 months to negotiate with Jojo Diaz, which would have landed you in January of 2021. But then Jojo Diaz goes and make a fight for February of 2021. All because they're saying that the rematch clause has expired. Now, keep in mind, which makes this also so confusing, is that this news that I'm telling you, as far as what happened with Tevin Farmer and everything, and them going up to January, this news came out just 3 weeks ago. Just like 3 weeks ago. And then here we are today. The rematch clause is expired, according to Coppinger. He's going on with the fight that's going past the January date, and Tevin Farmer is looking like he's getting left behind. So I hope he does something legally that he can do, because it ain't right. If you sign on the dotted line, you sign on the dotted line. Whether you believe he win, loses, or draw, he's still entitled to his opportunity, because that's the contract that you signed. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. So it's loophole central right now. And I hope it works in Tevin Farmer's favor, man, because if not, I don't know where he'll go from here, man. And we wish nothing but the best for Tevin Farmer, man, all day. He can always give Gary Russell Jr. a call. That's one thing I always liked about Tevin Farmer. He was down to face Gary Russell Jr. If he would have gotten past Jojo Diaz, Tevin Farmer wanted smoke with Gary Russell Jr. Maybe he should give Gary a call. Who knows? That's if Gary wanted to entertain him. Maybe it's not big enough for Gary. Gary stated that he was willing to stop at 130 to face Tevin Farmer when Tevin Farmer had the belt. You know what I mean? So things might have changed in that situation as well. But we'll see, man. Thumbs up for the homie. Salute to everybody in Mainman Mademan's boxing forum. Eat that turkey, man. Enjoy that turkey today, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody eat good and give thanks, man, all day. And I catch up with y'all real soon. To the next one. Peace out.